My name is Alex Vilmer. I'm from St. Louis, north side, north whatever, St. Louis area in general. Um, I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood that it basically, it's got its bad points, it's got its good points. More bad points than good, obviously, but, you know, it's just, sometimes it's tough, depending on what areas you go through. Where you live and how you live, how the community lives around you, it's a work in progress. Well, basically, like, I see families, nowadays, like, me, I do a lot of listening, and learning. That's basically me just sitting back and look everywhere and just look at my surroundings. And I notice a lot these days, people, families are falling apart, and I'm not gonna speak about women are just important as men are, but I'm gonna speak about the men personally right now. I mean, the men are not, being the men of the household and take care of responsibilities these days. You see them, on the street. You see them on the corners. You see them disrespecting women to the utmost. I mean, just brutally disrespect. I mean, just families are not what they should be these days. What I want to get focused on is basically, I mean, like you've always heard, it starts in the home. You've always heard it starts in the home, and that's 100% true. That's where you're born, hospital, but that's where you're born, that's where you're raised, hopefully. And I just want to see, communities get brought up, because I think, when you make a community better, you make people in general feel better about where they live. Take someone, right? You live in a bathroom and then go live in a penthouse. Which one are you gonna like more? Which one's gonna make you feel better? Of course, the penthouse is. So, I mean, like, my basic thing is, if you change a community, you can change a person. And by changing a person, you can change a family. Because if that person's happy, most likely the other person, that family in the community is happy. And then, like, when you come home, in the evening, you guys aren't fighting about because you slum neighborhood you're living in. That's just, I believe, you change the community, you can change the family. I myself was one of those people that basically was making the family fall apart. I was the menace. I couldn't listen to authority. I mean, you couldn't tell me what to do. I couldn't listen to you, and I didn't. And, I went from corrupting my family, making my mom broke. My mother went broke because, at an early age, bringing friends over, drinking, tearing up the place, not listening, just tearing the whole family apart. And later on down the road, my mother just felt like she couldn't take it no more. And, my mom was the man of the house, basically, and she felt like she couldn't take it no more, so she actually tried to commit suicide. One day when I came home from school, I literally had to run out in the middle of the street and tackle my mom from getting hit by a semi. I had to tackle her on the ground. First time I've only ever hit my mom, and it broke my heart, because when I got off of her, I looked down like, and I started crying, like, I can't let this happen anymore. Look at what's going on, this is my fault. This is my fault. So I took a stand. I said from then on out, I got on my knees and prayed. I took from then on out, like, I love my mom, I love my family. That's everything in the world to me. I mean, that is my world. And I told myself, if nothing else, I'll be the glue that holds this family together. I'll be the one that stands up and holds it together. No matter what happens, I basically said, I'm the brick wall, and nothing's gonna let this family fall apart. But, and now, seeing from that aspect, I do look at people around the community, and I see different families. Like, I'll be out at a park and see, like, a brother trying to have fun with his little sister, like maybe taking her on the swings. She don't do so, and she get this huge smack in the face and says you going home and you grounded. Just for, you know, I just see all these families like, you know, not getting along and they're breaking up. That causes fights. That can cause to like economical, you know, problems. Like since they fighting, parents aren't focused on the jobs, which they lose money. And I'm trying to get around to talking to these people. I mean, I really haven't figured out a way yet, but most of the people I know, I basically put myself out there and tell them, hey man, if you ever need somebody to talk to, I got you. But that's just a start. Right now, there's some developing issues, but I hopefully hope to basically help everybody out in this community. I want my face known. I mean, I want everybody to know, hey, I mean, I might not be a professional, you know, I know what you're going through, man. You know, I know how your family, you know what I mean, I know how your family got broken up or is breaking up, but hey, maybe we can sit down and I can tell you some stories, maybe that'll help, you know. I mean, Youth Build, it's been a really good experience. It's shown me so many different, you know, aspects of what I could do into as far as what I'm doing now. When I first heard about Youth Build, my dad had came over to my house one day and said he saw this flyer. One of his coworkers had said their son went through it. So, you know, I called him up, and obviously when I went in there, you know, went to the interview, and they told me to get back at me. And when I went in there, you know, I had no car, I had no license. I was 19 years old, didn't even have a permit. Had no permit, had no GED, dropped out of high school when I was a sophomore. Didn't have anything going for me. The only thing I really had was, you know, looking on the calendar for my next PO day. That's it. I mean, but when I got into Youth Build, first of all, the staff there, great. I mean, you come in, you say hi, they got the biggest smile on their face. That one, you know, that gives you a lift, like, all right, my day's gonna be good now, you know. I mean, let's see what happens, you know. And then like they showed you the tools. I mean, they're not gonna pick you up and carry you to wherever you gotta go. You know, they're not gonna give it to you. What they did was, like how I said before, a man, self-responsibility, you know, which everybody should have. But they gave you the tools. They sat the tools down on the table. Said, here they are, you know, you use them if you want. And they guided you. I mean, they guided me to where if I tried and I slipped and fell and, you know, and didn't know what to do anymore, they helped pick me back up and showed me you know, hey, I think this is a better way you could do this, you know. It's been a great experience. Like now, it all starts with just the atmosphere, the friendliness, like of what we have. Like we've got a GED teacher in the room. Her name's Miss Lee. I call her Grandma. Every time I come in, I give her a hug, you know. And she worked with me every day. She worked with me to like. I mean, we close at 4:30, and I stay out there. I'd be sitting in Youth Build 6:30, you know, in the evening, just working on my GED, you know, not giving up. And eventually, I took the GED the first time and passed it. And just, I don't know, it's kind of hard right now because like, I'm so happy when I got asked this question. But it's just been wonderful. I mean, so many different tools they teach you, I mean, to how to better yourself. I mean, not only just learning like construction and trade and how to produce things and how to be useful, they also like just classes with like, you know, business administrations and like stuff that helps you like sociably, like you know, how to do interviews and how to just like also like, you know, they also help you. They got classes there too that like you can sit down and actually talk to the teacher about basically how to like develop social skills and speech skills and like how to talk and how to like make sure your voice is heard, like to be a presenter, you know, just to take you from like this rag and take you and make you a tux. basically. I mean, just, and like every day I go, I listen. And I mean, every time, every word that comes out any instructor's mouth, it goes in my ear. I don't let any word pass me. Because I mean, look what it's done so far. I've got my permit. I've got my license. Got my license 3 days ago. I've got my car. I mean, you know, they just teach you about self-responsibility, which is, I think, the best thing, one of the best things that these communities need.